Loki's Becker, stop singing that. You're scaring me. Aha. That explains the poltergeist activity today. I wondered. I was playing this song that apparently gives Loki the willies, and he's like, no, no more. Odin was enjoying the hell out of it. We were playing Go Tell Aunt Rhody. Resident Evil version. What other version will we play? And my makeup went off of this table, zoom, and then I went into the bathroom to look for my eyeliner, and the garbage can was knocked over. And I'm like, okay, logically, is this like subsidence or something? Is something causing this? Loki got the Loki zooms because we're just sitting around listening to like the hour version on loop while we're doing stuff and cleaning. There's other methods of cleaning, and then there's the Odin method, putting on appropriate music and cleaning to it. And so, we came to the end. And I really don't know who's in our roster right now. I just do know that a lot of stuff had to go out. A ton of stuff had to go out. I did my runes yesterday, did my room work, and basically I got T-Waz reversed, and that's about, you can have 5 billion meanings to it, but basically what I got out of it was stuff I had to do. There were certain things I needed to address. I went and I took care of those things, and the house looks a lot better. It looks kind of empty, but it looks a lot better. And I was like, yeah, I think this is the right thing to do, and I feel at peace with it. If it bothers me, some stuff got put in storage. Some stuff, I have made enough storage. Some stuff got put in storage. Some stuff got put back to the original place. And some stuff got pitched out. And bless the people that pick up trash, because we got a fuck ton of snow and they still made it through the snow and they still picked up every single bag. So bless them. And it's nice. We got this snow and I'm walking out bags last night and I'm walking in this deep snow and I'm, hoofing it out there, and then we think we're done. And then I said, no, I gotta let go of the past. I gotta make a clean break. I gotta, restart. And I kept getting these angel numbers lately. I don't put great stock into them. Yeah, I was like, okay, like a new forward momentum, letting go of stuff. And that's a thing where I tell you guys, you can't buy a relationship with a god. I don't care how much of their shit you buy. If they're just not that into you, you're just going to make a fool out of yourself. Been there, done that. So a lot of stuff that certain gods or goddesses or whomever had never wanted, and it was my idea, pitched it out, because you can't buy them with that. They didn't want it in the first place. Look at it this way. It'd be like if the creepiest son of a bitch you ever met showed up on Valentine's Day on your doorstep with roses and chocolate. Are you gonna let them into your house? Oh hell no. It's the same thing when we show up with all these statues and all this stuff and this guy's just not into us. They're like, ugh, no. Some of them will be polite, some of them won't even bother. The old man is known especially for not bothering to be polite. He's known for that. And, Loki too. And that was kind of a thing I was thinking of. There are some people that, for whatever reason, they run up to Loki and they bounce right off. And every so often, you see them. Either they're being silly and he's not in a damn mood for it. Or, all the gods don't like everyone. Every god doesn't like everyone. Every god doesn't get along with everyone. Every god isn't going to work with everyone. Loki doesn't love everybody on this planet. The old man certainly doesn't love everyone. Every so often we just, for our entertainment, go on Reddit and look at the neckbeards trying to claim they know the old man, and we look at each other and we laugh and we laugh. Odin's people are a special breed of people, is what Odin's people are. You have to have a lot of demons in your closet to qualify for one. And I don't mean the kind you work with. Odin's people tend to have a darker taint to them. There tends to be a side to their personality that it's very dark, and that's what Odin is looking for. Now, I'm not saying go out of your way and be edge or emo or goth or something. That's not it at all. Odin's people have seen some shit. They have been through some shit. They've been through the fire and the crucible and everything else, and that's what attracts Odin to them, like attracts like. And if you have this dark half to your soul and you have all these demons in you and you're haunted basically, you end up with the old man. And some people end up with him because Loki, and then Odin has to come see what is going on, or they start with the old man. and they end up with Loki, but they both do have very dark paths, and I mean dark paths. And you can always tell the people that are going to wash out because they start with them and, they hate one brother or they hate one group of the gods. They hate the Aesir or the Vanir or something. And it's like, you really haven't read your lore, have you? I can tell you haven't read your lore. We had somebody on the channel for a while that they were always bad mouthing the old man and the Aesir and finally had enough of their shit and kicked them out. And you have to be willing to make sacrifices. The Aesir are definitely the gods of sacrifice. They're definitely the gods of, because I consulted Tyr, Odin, and Loki with sacrifices yesterday. You have to be willing to make fucking sacrifices if you want something. There's no free lunch, as the old man will tell you. And if you won't make those sacrifices and you won't face stuff, you're not going to give for. One of the things of working with the old man since it's Woden's day, should say Odin. Odin carries a lot of baggage. Is you gotta face. He's a god of slavers. He is, he has son Thor who had slaves. Thrall is just a fancy word for slave. Just because they were the same color as the people that kept them didn't make it any more right. They were slaves. And, we glamorize Vikings today and we try to pretend they were nobility and we romanticize them. There's nothing fucking romantic about people that were so violent. I forget his name. There was one Viking that was so unhinged, he would run through, villages throwing babies up in the air and spitting them on a sword. These were the fucking crazy people a lot of times. These were the people that the other people, Nordic people, had to be like, oh, thank the gods they went away. Hopefully they die this time. So, these were violent men. And you have to think of that, you have to think of that. And, Odin is the god of these people, and Odin is the god that highly approved of this, and Odin, Odin hasn't changed much. But I've noticed with the old man, he's sly enough and clever enough that if he's working with Wiccans, he's all peace and light. He never killed anybody. And I'm hearing hysterical laughter. And if you work with him and you get into a more and more Nordic sense, then you see all that cute wash away. I mean, there's still Oski, but the cute washes away, and he's definitely the hanged god. He's the god that suffered to get the runes. He's the god that, yes, physical pain exists, and yes, you're gonna fucking endure it, and yes, you're going to push through your pain. I was in a fuck ton of pain yesterday, but we kept going, and Odin and Tyr and Loki gave me the strength to push through and get it done, and it fucking hurt like a son of a bitch. And last night was a fucking terrible night, but that was part of the sacrifice. Sometimes you do rest with pain. You don't always push through, but sometimes you gotta be like, fuck it, and push through your pain and get shit done and sacrifice that. That's part of the sacrifice, is powering through the pain. And Odin is fucking relentless, and that's what I got done yesterday. And it was good. I had the Norse gods help me clean out a lot of shit and, let go of stuff and come to terms with stuff. And, Tyr is a good one to work with. There are many different versions of Tyr, to be clear. There are different ways of viewing him. But if you view him as someone who left his family and pledged his allegiance with the Aesir, then he is definitely the god of your old allegiances have to go because this is holding you back. You're seeing them sporadically. You might even be making stuff up at this point. And Tyr is, absolutely no bullshit. He is absolutely the one that will come in and help you, dismantle stuff. And Loki too. Loki will help you do it, and Loki's merciless. But the one you really want, that nobody wants to work with, is the old man. The old man is fucking happy because we were playing his favorite song. And Lucky went into poltergeist level activity, and we're playing Go Tell at Rhody. Of course, the Resident Evil version, because the old man thinks it's a wonderful game. And we're playing that, and we're just playing it on loop, and we're cleaning. And even though it was to purify and protect, it's the Odin energy of purify and protect. And, Odin has this very dark side. He has this very dangerous side. And that's not to make people think, oh, I'm going to go work with this badass god. Ask people that work with him. He will fucking periodically knock you on your ass, and he will go for the eyes with me. He will. He doesn't give two shits what your gender is. You are not a fragile flower. You're one of his people, you're going to learn to fight in the pit with him. And all of his people are like, yep, can confirm. And there are these women that are like, oh no, he's gentle and tender. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you working with, but that ain't the old man. He'll kick you on your fucking ass and laugh while he does it. I've had dreams and visions where he has just thrown me around like a fucking rag doll because that's the old man. You're not protected because you're a female. That's the first thing you have to know. One second, guys, these damn allergies. Sorry about that. But that's what you have to know working with the old man. You are not a protected species. If you're a woman, good. You're going to become a shield maiden. And, a lot of the brohologists will be like, ghosts never existed. The fuck they didn't. You got to learn to fight on your own. And if you're not going to learn from him, he'll bring Freya over. And despite her being recast as this delicate, teeny tiny, poofy love goddess, she'll knock you on your fucking ass too. And we were looking through Reddit and snickering because there are these, the neckbeards and the armchair people that I think they're basically atheists, but they think they're so wise and so steeped in the occult. Usually when people use the word occult, I'm like, you're fucking full of shit, for one. And, I know they are because they think they're learning mystical secrets. I'm like, yeah, these mystical secrets are on Wikipedia, so take your occult knowledge and shove it up your ass where it belongs. So Lucky's like, she's back. And it's a bunch of fucking horseshit. They like to sit there and stroke their egos. Lucky's like, yeah, that's what they're stroking. And they like to think they know the gods. And it's like, anyone that knew the old man wouldn't talk the way these assholes do. So we were laughing at that. And, they were pretending they knew Odin and Freya. And I'm like, no, you don't. If you knew them, you would be a lot more respectful, for one. And yeah, there are times they're going to push you to fight back, but you have to choose those battles carefully, and you have to think of what you will potentially lose. And with the old man, it might be an appendage before you start that fight. I mean, the old man will come after you, and he will have no fucking mercy. This is God that has beat his heroes to death. This is a God who has, in his wrath, when they refuse him, killed them on the battlefield personally. This is a God who, because, Frigg went to one of his favorites and his favorite captured him, he fucking cursed his favorite. This is a hot Templar god of death and destruction and glorying in war. And, you have to remember that when you're working with him and malicious magic. But that doesn't mean you start working with him and he's going to make you this badass malicious sorcerer. You're just going to look ridiculous trying to pretend you are. But I go, oof. But, he's definitely a god of dark past. He's definitely a god of, facing your past and being absolutely fucking ruthless and ripping stuff out that has to go, which explains us redecorating. So, it was a thing we had to work through, and it was a thing we had to reflect on. And I'm coming to the point where I need them to slow me down for a couple days and, help me do something else because I'm set into cleaning mode now. And now everything would go. There would be fucking nothing left in this house. And I said, you gotta stop me at this point because I'm just in cleaning mode. It'll all go. It'll all go. We can have blank open space. I wouldn't care at this point because I'm just stuck into overdrive, which is what always happens. But, the house looks a lot better and we got rid of some stuff and we let go of the past. And if any deities choose to come back into my life, then they're going to come back from, basically from zero. And it's going to be like, look, you weren't in my life. I'm not holding space for you anymore. It was Tyr's advice of, you gotta stop holding space for people and thinking you have this relationship when, if you look at it, it hasn't been there for years. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye bye.